John and Mary meet. What happens next? If you want a happy ending, try A. John and Mary fall in love and get married. They both have worthwhile and remunerative jobs, which they find stimulating and challenging. They buy a charming house. Real estate values go up. Eventually, when they can afford live-in help, they have 2 children, to whom they are devoted. The children turn out well. John and Mary have a stimulating and challenging sex life and worthwhile friends. They go on vacations together, but eventually they retire. They both have hobbies which they find stimulating and challenging. And eventually, they die. Mary falls in love with John, but John doesn't fall in love with Mary. He comes to her apartment twice a week and she cooks him dinner. After that, he fucks her and falls asleep. Mary does the dishes, so she doesn't seem untidy. John didn't even notice the new sweater she was wearing. Crying is bad for your face. Everyone knows that. She keeps having sex with him, though. She thinks he'll get used to her, and one day he'll depend on her, and they'll get married. But John goes out the door with hardly so much as a good night. 3 days later, he turns up at 6 o'clock, and they do the whole thing over again. One evening, John complains about the food. He has never complained about the food before. Mary is hurt. Her friends tell her that they've seen him in a restaurant with another woman whose name is Madge. It's not even Madge that finally gets to Mary. It's the restaurant. Mary collects all the sleeping pills she can find. She leaves John a note. She hopes he'll discover her and get her to the hospital in time and repent. And they'll get married. But this fails and she dies. John marries Madge, and everything continues as in A. John, who is an older man, falls in love with Mary, and Mary, who is only 22, feels sorry for him because he's worried about his hair falling out. She sleeps with him even though she's not in love with him. She met him at work. John is married to a woman called Madge, and they have 2 children, a charming house which they bought before the real estate values went up, and hobbies which they find stimulating and challenging when they have the time. But Mary's in love with someone called James, who's also 22 and not ready to settle down. He has a motorcycle. It's freeing. Mary spends Thursday evenings with John. Thursdays are the only days he can get away. John leaves in the morning. John tells Mary how important Madge is to him, but he can't leave her because he's committed. Mary's not impressed. She's impressed by James's motorcycle and record collection. One day, James and Mary get higher than usual, climb into bed. But along comes John, who has a key to Mary's apartment. He finds them stoned and entwined. He's hardly in any position to be jealous considering Madge, but nevertheless, he's overcome with despair. Finally, he's middle-aged. In 2 years, he'll be as bald as an egg, and he can't stand it. He grabs a knife. He goes upstairs. Kills them both. Then he kills himself. After a suitable period of mourning, Madge marries a man named Fred, and everything continues under A, with different names. The endings are always the same. John and Mary die. John and Mary die. John and Mary die. So much for endings. Beginnings are always more fun.